South African Jewish Board of Deputies has laid criminal charges against former WITS SRC President Mcebo Dlamini for what they are calling racist and defamatory remarks he made against the South African Jewish community last week. Dlamini's comments are his latest in a series of controversial public statements. To discuss this matter further, we are joined over Skype this morning by South African Jewish Board of Deputies spokesperson Jeff Katz. Jeff, good morning. Thanks very much for joining us. First of all, what exactly did Dlamini say and what was the forum?
Firstly, good morning, Nick. Thank you for having me on your show, and good afternoon to your listeners. The comments were made by Mr. Dlamini in a radio interview last week on Power FM, where in answer to a question he referred to Jews as devils, Jews as hypocrites, and made some further disparaging remarks. These remarks, in our view, constituted hate speech, and in fact, in our view, went further as to incite violence against the Jewish community. And as a result of that, the Board of Deputies made a decision which wasn't made lightly to institute criminal charges against Mr. Dlamini.
Okay. So we know about his the statements that he made, the Hitler remarks. He was removed as SRC president. You guys have obviously lodged a complaint with the Human Rights Commission. This is going to be added to the charge sheet. He's appealing his sort of dismissal. What are you hoping that the ultimate sanction will be in all of this?
Just as a matter of clarification, our complaint to the Human Rights Commission is not related to the Hitler statements. They're in fact related to other statements which Mr. Dlamini made in an open forum regarding Jewish students at WITS. The complaint to the Human Rights Council, the Human Rights Commission, regarding the Hitler statements were in fact made by WITS University, not by the Jewish Board of Deputies. In answer to your question on what we hope to achieve, South Africa has come from a very difficult past with regards to racism. And as a result, it has enacted certain legislation, being the Equality Act and as well as the Constitution, and as well has criminalized certain speech, in other words, limited freedom of speech in this country where there has been hate speech and incitement to violence. What is interesting is that this morning a judgment was handed down against the Northern Cape Premier, Mrs. Sylvia Lucas, in regards to comments that she made on a radio station with regards to the Khoi and the San communities. So as a precedent, our courts take very seriously these types of comments in order to protect the constitutional democracy in which we live and the safeguarding the rights of minorities. In answer to your question, what are we hoping for? Ultimately, forget about the criminal sanction. What we really want is Mr. Dlamini to understand that words have meanings and that the words lead to actions. And as a result, we would like him to apologize, but apologize in the context that he fully understands the damage that these words have caused.
Okay. What do you think his agenda might be? Does he have support? And is this a race issue?
I can't comment on what his agenda is. I've read a couple of remarks that he's made, and they don't seem to me to follow any agenda or any logical pattern, to be honest. I can only speak on behalf of the verbal assault that the Jewish community has been subjected to, particularly in regards to these statements. And our view is that these comments amount to hate speech with incitement to violence, and that action needs to be taken.
So, is there any particular community that he is affiliating himself to?
I don't believe there is. In answer, the levels of anti-Semitism in South Africa amongst the general population is extremely low. We live in a very tolerant society with regards to freedom of religion, with regards to protection of minorities, and we as the Jewish community are very privileged to live in a country where such protections are in place. So I don't believe that there is any community or there's any group of people who would be supportive of the comments made by Mr. Dlamini.